Nothing is more concerning to people today than the fact that they can't get pregnant and can't have a family, which is one of the reasons why I love to help people have a family. And we have such great success in infertility in the clinic, at least I would say close to 95% success rate. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about infertility, why we have so much of it. Let's start with that topic. The reality is that we have a lot of infertility. People spend thousands, if not millions of dollars on infertility, thousands individually, and it's really gut-wrenching to me to think that they spend so much money and many times it's unsuccessful. So I can tell you that one of the major causes of infertility is really GMO. We have such a poor food supply that GMOs interfere with and create infertility in the body. Number two is there's other aspects of our food supply, such as not eating enough fats. That's another cause of infertility as well. You know, we're told to avoid the fat, it's bad for you, you'll get fat, but without fat, we really can't have good hormones. So that's another issue. Another cause of infertility really has to do with all the phytoestrogens, things that we get from plastic water bottles and from the water supply, because it's in the water itself. All the chemicals, all the medications that interfere with fertility. So all of these things are working against us. It's sort of like swimming upstream, and we're just not getting there. The other thing is stress. People are so stressed out in this country that it's a big, big issue. Another cause is basically the stress on the body. You know, whether it be the stress of your boss, the stress of not getting enough exercise, not enough sleep. All of these things can create infertility. So, and then the process goes on. But the other problem is an imbalanced acupuncture meridian system. So if we don't have balanced meridians that go through our body, or we call them circuits in Asian medicine, or meridians, then basically many times these circuits get blocked from scars externally from accidents or surgeries, and they never get corrected, and these imbalances can create infertility electrically. So if you don't have electricity going to the uterus or to other parts of the brain, which have to do with pituitary, hypothalamus, and even the adrenal glands for energy, then the body will not be ready for fertility or pregnancy. And so all of these are factors. So let me tell you a little bit about the solutions of how we solve infertility problems all the time on an ongoing basis here in the clinic for the last 20 years. So the first thing we have to do is find out what the person is eating. So once again, if you have to eat a higher fat diet, you have to eat a lower carb diet. So, you know, your body fat really can help indicate whether or not you will be fertile. The second thing is activity. You know, you need to make sure you're active, that you have, that you're exercising on a regular basis. This will really help your adrenal glands. It'll help get things moving, because fertility is about movement. Things have to move in the body in the right way. You know, your cycle has to be on a regular cycle. It has to be on time. It has to be regular bleeding patterns, not long, not heavy, not clotted. So all of those things have to be corrected and balanced once again. If there's a lot of pain and inflammation with your cycle, this is another factor that would cause a block in infertility for sure. So we also use, besides these lifestyle changes, we also use food as medicine. And like we said, there's a lot of great foods that help promote fertility, such as good oils, good nuts, and lots of greens, you know, like spinach, kale, broccoli, and there's also a lot of good things like avocados that help the thyroid, because you must have a balanced thyroid and good body temperature. When you wake up in the morning, you can take your body temperature, and it should be a minimum of 97.8 because that means your thyroid is functioning properly. So the other treatments that we talk about in the clinic are acupuncture. So acupuncture is so phenomenal for infertility. In fact, it is a must in combination with nutrition and with acupuncture. Usually we do a treatment once a month, and it helps to regulate your cycle, which has to be normal, helps to resolve the pain, the excessive bleeding, and then of course it helps to get the uterus lining ready for fertility, which is all essential. We also use a lot of herbal and nutritional supplements. So we use things like evening primrose oil, black currant seed oil. These are essential fatty acids that are necessary for the body to properly function and to help send the signal from the brain to the ovaries to release an egg. Once the egg is released, we have to make sure that we have a good lining on the uterus. So we use a lot of uterine building type supplements that are really important, such as Utrophin, which is from Standard Process, to rebuild a new lining on the uterine lining. And then once there's a good lining, once the timing is proper with the cycle, and once we have the right nutrition, then the body can really heal. And the other part that's really critical is, we just think of the woman's body, the mom that's getting ready for pregnancy, as so important. But the truth is that man or the husband is just as important. So the man has to be also prepared that the right sperm count, the right motility on the sperm, and that there's vitality in the man as well. So together we feel like the partners of the man and the woman, husband and wife, that together this will really help promote fertility when both partners are really strong, healthy, vital, and alive. And so they get enough sleep, get enough water, exercise, and stay on their programs for a minimum of 3 to 6 months in preparation. So I tell patients that it's really important not to be trying during this 3 to 6 month period of time. And then that way when they're strong and ready, once I tell them it's time, that they can actually have a healthy, vital, and the strongest body possible for their child and to build their family. Of course, once we reach the age of 40, the chances decline drastically for the viability of a sperm, and but mainly for women, as far as the healthy eggs and just the ability to implant an egg to the uterine lining and to have a healthy child. It really declines after age 40. So if you really want to increase your chances, save some money, and have a healthier child, then this is really the treatment for you. Because we know how frustrating this can be if you don't have these options and if you want to start a family and you can't. So I'm going to end with a story. One of the most successful stories I've ever had was a woman who had tried with her husband infertility treatments for 4 years. After 4 years of trying and thousands of dollars later, together the infertility clinic told them that there was no chance that they would have a baby. They should just go home and adopt. Can you imagine how frustrating, sad that news would be? Well, it was true that they had told them this story, but the fact is that it wasn't true that they couldn't get pregnant. Because she came to me for acupuncture and supplements and lifestyle changes, like I'd mentioned earlier, and we did this protocol for 6 months. She came into the room one day, I remember, and she said, I came into the room and we talked, and she said, you were right, absolutely right. I said, about what? And she said, you were right. You told me that 6 months from now, after starting treatment with you, that I would be pregnant, even though I had tried for 4 years to be able to handle and take care of this fertility problem, and it was unsuccessful. Unsuccessful, can you imagine? And I said, well, that's fantastic. Well, it not only continued, because then she had a second child because she became so fertile through the programs we designed, through the acupuncture we offered, and then a third child. Well, after she had the third child, she wasn't as excited after the first and second. And she came to me and she said, you must stop this. I do not want any more children. You must stop this. And I said, well, unfortunately, we can start it, but we can't stop it. We'll have to find another way to stop the process. And so all kidding aside, I know that it works. And I know that when you take the safe and natural route, the body can heal. I really believe that the body was created to heal, and that many times it's just because you're missing the right ingredients in your life, your lifestyle, your food, your supplements, and finally the right therapy, which are the 4 circles of longevity and the 4 circles of success. So I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you share it with your family and your friends, and I invite you to watch many of these other videos on our new membership site, which we have launched. Become a member, look at our website, and also look at our new app, which is Summers Holistic, and you can find it on your phone. And we look forward to helping you soon. Mahalo.